So there are some significant updates when it comes to Celeste. We have to get into this. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali. Daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video, not waste any more time. It looks like there is more information from law enforcement. Celeste Rivers, a 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of singer David's Tesla, ran away multiple times because of trouble at home, law enforcement sources have officially confirmed. What did I tell you? That something ain't right with that family. We were right on the mark so far when it comes to our investigation and picking up on the mother, the family, the GoFundMe, accounts, whether they're fake or real, the mum's Facebook accounts, and for the fact that she was missing for so long before she was found dead in this Tesla. Surely the parents would have done more, but clearly the mum's friends were saying that she doesn't even care. Now, law enforcement have publicly come today to say that she actually ran from her house multiple times due to problems going on. What was going on in that house? I wouldn't be surprised if the harm or abuse began in the house by somebody who was Celeste's relative. That could possibly be true. LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division have been tracking Celeste's history, and they are trying to piece together the story of her life. We're told the Lake Elsinore family contacted Riverside County law enforcement at least twice to report that she was missing. Our sources say homicide detectives believe there's a lot of evidence Celeste comes from a troubled home, and that may have triggered her desire to run away. Now, what type of trouble is a 11 to 15-year-old going through to the point where they need to leave that house? What kind of significant trauma and PTSD or some forms of abuse is a minor going through to that extent? TMZ have spoken to a liquor store owner near where Celeste's school bus picked her up, and he says there was one instance where Celeste's sister came to his store to review surveillance footage in an attempt to trace Celeste's steps after she ran away. As we reported, her middle school teacher told TMZ that Celeste had run away back in January, and the teacher says police found her in the Hollywood Hills a month later and took her home. It's worth noting that David also lives in the Hollywood Hills. What's unclear is if the family called the cops in Hollywood when Celeste disappeared in spring to find out where she had been staying when they found her in February. One sources say the way Celeste was able to navigate on her own was by having multiple fake IDs in an attempt to present much older than she was. Before police were able to identify Celeste's body, TMZ got a tip that she was the victim found in David's Tesla. We contacted her mother, who told us about a red tattoo Celeste had on her right index finger. The mother added that her daughter was dating a guy named David. We passed the information on to LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, and days later police identified her as the victim. It's apparent police think Celeste might have been killed inside the home of David while staying there, because they actually have obtained a search warrant allowing them to specifically look for blood evidence into the residence. As of right now, nothing has been revealed in terms of discovery or if any suspects have been found for this. Well, David is right there. But this is what the police, law enforcement themselves are confirming. Multiple times she ran away. One point, her family was asking the liquor store, "Oh, did you catch her running away on your outdoor surveillance footage?" Now, I'm not saying that the mother is the sole reason for the passing of Celeste. I'm not saying that. I've never said that. But something in the buttermilk ain't clean when it comes to this family. And I absolutely believe that what were you going through in your home that was so troubled? What was happening to you? What were people doing to you to the point where she needed to run away? And I think that she just found David as some kind of comforter, as somebody to escape the family madness that was going on in those four walls. And therefore, in doing so, David took advantage of her, groomed her, exploited her. And it's always easier to exploit somebody who's already being exploited because, they can easily tell. And she basically fell right into his lap. He knew that she was going through things in her home, going through things with her family, big troubles, and he took advantage of that to get closer to her, to make a relationship, and she ended up running away from one trap and falling right into another. Very similar to my life story when I was running away from being R-worded, when I was running away from people who were constantly touching me and I had no idea what to do, and therefore I needed fast money to get out. I ended up going into this very bad, forms of sex work or whatever, and I'm running from one to go right into the other, and those particular people ended up trafficking me. So I went from running from being R-worded to then being trafficked. You go from one issue to the other. You're running from one to the other. Very similar to Celeste. She's running from whatever the hell is going on at home, which could be very similar to me. And then she ran right into another, which was with David. But in this instance with Celeste, things seem to be far more worse because obviously she ended up dead in a Tesla. She was taken completely advantage of at such a significant minor age. This is what happens when you are running from one problem and you're young and you're minor, you're being exploited, you're being used, you're being abused. You could also be 18, 19 and you still don't know with what's going on and you're being taken advantage of and you need to get out and you end up needing fast money and therefore you end up selling stuff or, selling yourself in some kind of way and you put yourself in an even more dangerous environment where then others can understand that you're running from danger. Therefore, you're easier to exploit. And because you're easier to exploit, they can exploit you just like David was doing to Celeste. And in this instance, he completely controlled every fiber of her body to the point where he ended up getting rid of that body is what I definitely believe. This is how it's connected. This is the connection between the troublesome home that Celeste was living in and the monster that is David that basically ruined everything. So I'm not blaming the mother solely, but because I can make these connections, and of course this is the direct theory, but this is what I definitely believe has happened, is because it mirrors very similar to me and what I've gone through, which I haven't even spoken about properly. I keep dropping little nuggets because I don't think I'm ready to really speak about it, and I'll do it in my own time. And when I do, things will be a lot more easier for people to understand. Unfortunately, when I went through this whole public scandal 4 years ago, I was absolutely decimated by everybody, but those grown-ass men got away with everything. And they're probably out there right now doing it to others. So, this is a big update that law enforcement have confirmed a troublesome environment of Celeste via the family, and that the family's, siblings were trying to track footage of her because she was running away. Somebody was doing something to Celeste. Some people were doing, because ain't no way somebody at the age of 11, 12, 13, 14 in that age range is running away multiple times for no reason. Ain't no way somebody that age range is running away because they are in the wrong. You don't come out the womb acting a fool. You don't come out the womb acting bad and running away. Something was going on. And she had nobody around her to help her or to listen to her. More updates. Law enforcement have confirmed that the body of the girl Celeste has officially now been released to her family. The LA County coroner has confirmed. Celeste's family can also now claim her remains. Her death is, of course, under investigation after the decomposing and chopped up body inside the Tesla. So I'm pretty sure that, some kind of post-body mortem post-mortem tests have been done and they've looked at the body to see, bruises or, they must have done so much to the point where all of that has now been completed. And they've said, we've done all the tests, we've examined the body and the bruises and what's there, we can now return the body. So that in itself has also now been confirmed. But what is also interesting is that the home that David was actually staying in, where he's renting for $20,000 a month, there were actually external security cameras all around showing who goes in and who goes out. The name is Malden. He is the owner, the landlord. The place has been searched by cops as part of the Celeste Rivers investigation. And he says he had a security company install cameras outside the home years before the lease was signed. However, the key element, the homeowner says the cameras are positioned at entry points in the backyard and on the street, and he believes people cannot go in or out of the house without being recorded. This is a key element because cops were looking into the possibility that Celeste was actually killed inside the home because they're looking for traces of blood. However, the landlord doesn't have access to the footage because he doesn't want to think that, the tenants feel like he's basically spying on them, so the tenants can create their own accounts to access the cameras. So are there more tenants than David, neighbors in the building who can access this? As of right now, the LAPD have not confirmed to the landlord anything about the investigation or if cops obtain security footage. But he doesn't see why police wouldn't get their hands on the videos quite easily. So this is pretty bad news for David because easily the law enforcement can get everything in regards to security footage when Celeste went in the house, when she returned. She ran away from home right into this monster's lap and he knew everything about it, taking advantage of her, and she had nobody around to help her. Everybody around Celeste failed her. Do you understand? Failed her miserably. I hope the police can catch these cameras, obtain archived footage and go through it all. Whatever they found with the post-mortem is going to be absolutely insane, and it's probably going to break the internet when it comes to this story. But it is developing, and it is important that we raise awareness for Celeste, but also importantly, we raise awareness for the kids of today who are in predicaments like Celeste but have not died yet. That is what this is also important about: prevention for the safety of children and prevent them from being in even more dark, worse environments. It always comes down to protect the children, your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your sons, your neighbors' kids, and etc. Building a community of people to actually defend the kids in the area and make sure you can trust everybody, who your child is staying with, what house they're in, who lives there, and etc. Everything needs to be proofread. Should they be allowed a phone? I wasn't allowed a phone until I was like 17, 18. Best thing that you could do for a child, and that was way back, then, not even way back, but that was like, back then. Now you got the kids who are 5 years old scrolling on TikTok. How do you know somebody's not messaging them on TikTok? Even on the app Roblox, you're playing live with friends. You got all of these P. parties you can join, and multiple men can contact these minors asking for pictures to then sell them, or meeting up these minors, and there's multiple lawsuits that Roblox is facing. Parental control on everything. Not even parental control. You shouldn't even give them a device for it to be even having parental control. Like, this is how serious this stuff is. Not enough is being done to protect the children. It's difficult, and even with my PTSD, but I feel like it's important for us to get into this and cover this. Please do subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. For daily updates on this conversation, click that button and subscribe. It's just one click. That's all you guys have to do. Join Marauder Nation. Become a Marauder. Subscribe to the channel. Send a tip if you guys wish to. It does go a long way. We're not going to end until this case is rested, until justice is served for Celeste. And a reminder: protect the children. If you become more aware at the end of this video to protect the children around you, then I've done my job in this video. That is the main important message, that we can prevent certain scenarios happening, so that people around aren't passing just like Celeste was. This man was a demon. He was a monster, a horrific individual, but something was going on in that house. Something was going on in that house for somebody as young and vulnerable as Celeste to run away multiple times. She wasn't doing it for no reason. And it's not odd upon me that at one point when she ran away, she was found in the Hollywood Hills. That's where David's home was, because David knew that this young girl was running away. He knew that she was troubled, and he was feeding into it, giving her narratives, exploiting her, grooming her. She ran from one monster or multiple monsters in that house right into another monster, and nobody was around to help her. Everybody failed Celeste, and it is disgusting to see. And if everybody failed Celeste, how many others do you think are being failed as of right now, whilst I record this video and as you guys watch this video? There are monsters out there waiting for these children to run, to be troubled, so that they can exploit and groom them. Believe me, I know. I was exploited and groomed myself, left, right, and center, drugged up, beaten, told to do things for these kind of weird kinks and whatever, absolutely taken advantage of, because they knew that I was running from my own pain, and therefore they exploited me, and I was too young to understand, too naive. Not enough is being done for the children. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Not enough is being done for the children. This is a very serious conversation, not no gossip over here. We need to re-educate ourselves, remind ourselves, educate others. This is a very serious conversation. This man, it will go down as far as I'm concerned. We're not going to rest. Anyways, let me know your thoughts when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel. It's just one click. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but I believe one day we're going to wake up and the news is going to come out breaking that David has been taken into custody. That I feel like is going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon, guys. This man's career has crashed. Everybody has dropped him in regards to his career, and that is the least that this man deserves. He deserves a lot more, and it's all going to be coming his way. You don't go after children. You don't go after minors. But the fact that this man was dating a minor for multiple times and nobody gave a damn in his fandom or Discord group. All disgusting idiots. Anyways, I'm pissed off. Here we go with the rambling. I'm pissed off. Anyways, everything's off script, guys, off the top of my head. I just feel like I'm on FaceTime with you guys and we're just talking about this stuff, and I'm just coming to update you. Anyways, subscribe to the channel. It's just one click. Again, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to shut up now and stop saying that. And hopefully all of you guys have a good day. Be careful with the children around you. Make sure that they're all good. look after them. That's what we're meant to do, look after the younger generation. And I'll catch you guys soon for another video.